Ben. It's really
Hi,
good to see you again.
see how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Very good. Yeah, I've had a weird summer. Like it's not been very Augusty. It's felt very sort of autumnal and work focused. But yeah, good nonetheless.
Yeah, it's like that in North America right now, too. It's amazing. Um, after having such a hot summer.
Yeah,
So we're teaching a course together in October.
yeah, it should be really exciting. And we keep on having conversations about it, don't we? We're not kind of leaving it on the back burner. We seem to be constantly thinking about it.
Well, we're friends.
Lowercase
So
f, capital F.
we work well together.
Yeah.
Um, So, as we prepare for this course, I've become very curious about your relationship to God. When did you first start thinking about God?
Probably quite early on. So I think my earliest sort of God memories are probably from around the age of 5 or 6, because I went to um, an Anglican primary school, so elementary school, and I remember that we had lots of stories. There were lots of kind of biblical dress up. Like we used to have a priest that used to come in on Friday mornings, and he used to do stuff about parables, and he used to like attach various parable characters to a big felt board. So like you do the story of the Good Samaritan, and he had like a felt Samaritan, and he used to stick it to the board, and then he sort of tell the story. So like my early memories about God are very parable related memories, I think. But maybe the one that had the biggest impact on me was a farm related story because I was brought up on a farm. And occasionally we would have orphan lambs and who'd be very, very sick. And so you'd bring them in and then you'd kind of warm them for the night and then you'd see whether they'd be all right by the morning.
Hmm.
And this very sick lamb was brought in, and I prayed really, really hard. I was like, God is definitely going to save this lamb and it's going to be great, and then it didn't actually happen, and that
Hmm.
was quite a
Hmm.
that was a, quite a blow. But when I was about 11, I came back to this memory because I was sat in like a religious education class, and I said to the teacher at the time, I said, well, I don't think God is like a person. I said, I think
Hmm.
God's like a blanket, but the blanket's sort of everywhere and kind of nestled in everything. So, in a way, we're always being sort of covered in God all the time. And this adult kind of looked and went, that's a really interesting image. Yeah. And then she started repeating it to the other teachers. And I sort of returned to this memory. So I was thinking, the God that I wanted to save the lamb was clearly a person. It was something that you could argue with, you could petition, you could beg. And then the later idea of God, the blanket God, was different. It was like a sort of constant, loving presence that made sense of everything else that was going on in the background. So I think my feeling around that is maybe in my childhood and my teenage years, I was maybe wrestling between two different models of God, one being the God that I petition to save things, and the other God I have as the kind of background, massive blanket, cosmic presence God, which is maybe much harder to define and certainly not something you petition. I mean, presumably you don't petition your duvet, or do you? You might, but yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's lovely.